What's good, YouTube? It is your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Sports TV, and I am back with another video. This is the rundown discussing boxing's latest news. I'll post the links from 3kingsboxing.com to all the articles and topics that I am discussing in this video in the description box below, so you all can check it out for yourself. First up, Adrien Broner is coming back this fall, likely in September against Ivan Redkach. Yes, Ivan Redkach, the guy who was coming off of a 6-round KO victory over former two-division world champion Devin the Great Alexander. This will be Adrien Broner's first fight since his January 19th ass whooping at the hands of living legend Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, in a fight he embarrassed himself not only in the ring but in a post-fight interview where he claimed that he did enough to win the fight. I know, drew laughter from everybody that heard that fucking statement. But, you know, Broner, who is 33-4 and 1 in his career, is a 4-division world champion at 130, 135, 140, and 147. But let's be all the way 100. He has been quite a disappointment, especially considering where he started at, how he looked at 135, where he decimated Antonio DeMarco, when everybody thought, whoop, that's the next great lightweight in the sport of boxing. That's when shit went downhill. You know, the money got to his head, the fame, the attention, the bitches, you know, Floyd Mayweather and whoever else was in his ear, that got to him, and, you know, he lost focus. He lost dedication. He lost the commitment to the sport. He started getting in trouble outside of the ring, getting arrested, doing stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, now he finds himself in a crossroads fight against a guy who he is significantly better than, you know, and Ivan Redkach. No disrespect to him, because, you know, he was also expected to do some good things as a professional, but didn't quite pan out. At least not yet. He has 4 losses, you know, all to former champions except one. And, you know, he's looking to continue that impressive streak. He on a 3-fight win streak, you know what I'm saying? 2 of his last 3 fights have ended in knockout, with the most significant one coming against Devin Alexander. If he can catapult that into a great performance and a victory over Adrien Broner, he will no doubt most likely put the final nail in the career of Adrien Broner in terms of him being a contender and a relevant fighter, and push him down the ladder to, you know, gatekeeper, and step over him and put himself in as a contender and potentially get a chance at one of the welterweight champions if this fight takes place at 147 down the line. Broner is getting another fight by Al Heyman to show that he is still a valuable guy, somebody that you should be wanting to see on your TV screen, somebody that should be put in these big fights with these big name fighters, whether it's for a title or it's just an important fight that will lead to a title opportunity. You know, the time is running out on Adrien Broner. He'll be 30 later this month, and you know, if he don't turn it around, if he don't get his shit together, he's going to go in this ring against Ivan Redkach, and he's going to lose, because he cannot continue to do the same thing and expect a different result. They say that's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing and expecting a different result. That's not going to happen. So he needs to watch film, get a new trainer, get a new atmosphere, get some new people around him, and decide if he want to be the guy that he claims himself to be, people around him claim himself to be, people before they really see how he really is claimed him to be or predicted him to be, or he want to be the guy that we know now, a underachiever, B-level fighter who doesn't let his hands go, who doesn't take the sport serious. It's on him, you know what I'm saying? Because Ivan Redkach has nothing to lose. Ivan Redkach has nothing to lose because nobody expects him to, you know, win this fight. Nobody. He's working a 9 to 5. Yes, he working a 9 to 5, getting off, going to train. You know, kind of like Andrew Casillo, who defeated Alberto Machado twice while working a 9 to 5 and still being a boxer. Broner cannot do that. He cannot lose this fight. But the way Broner fights or doesn't fight, Ivan Redkach is definitely a live dog in this fight. And a lot of people won't be surprised if he wins. I don't think he's going to win. I think Broner is good enough, still has enough in the tank to, get the job done and probably by stoppage. But nothing is a guarantee when it comes to Adrien Broner other than he going to say some goofy shit to try to, drum up interest for a fight that nobody other than his hardcore fight fans and his opponent's hardcore fight fans care about. And that's just pretty much simple as that, man. That really is all I got to make of that. We shall see. Nothing is official. No date has been, thrown out there. But it seems like in September, it'll be Adrien Broner versus Ivan Redkach, who, will be looking to pull off yet another upset. Next up, Oleksandr Gvozdyk, WBC light heavyweight champion, and Arthur Beterbiev, the the IBF light heavyweight champion. It's looking like they're going to fight this fall in a highly anticipated unification bout. We all know this isn't something that should come as a surprise because we here at 3kingsboxing.com reported on that months ago, stating that this was a possibility that Bob Arum was planning to match either Gvozdyk versus Beterbiev or Gvozdyk versus Kovalev or Beterbiev versus Kovalev sometime in the fall, maybe Thanksgiving time. And this is a fantastic matchup. Both guys are highly skilled. Gvozdyk is the more skilled guy. Beterbiev is the guy that'll knock your lights out with one punch. Simple as that. He'll knock your lights out one punch. He don't fuck around in there. He is straight brute strength. Right, left hand, both equal power. But Gvozdyk, he'll have the height advantage. He'll have the hand speed advantage. I think he's better technical, has better fundamentals, and he's fought the better competition strictly with him fighting Adonis Stevenson. You see what he did against Adonis Stevenson? He ended his career, put him in a coma, hospital for a while, while taking that WBC light heavyweight title from him. This guy has a tremendous skill set. He showed composure, and it'll be interesting to see how he deals with the power of Arthur Beterbiev, who, like I said, is brute strength. He's an aggressive fighter. If he doesn't respect your power, if you don't have the proper footwork, the proper technique, the proper ring IQ to, elude and, get out of the way of his strength and his pressure, you will crumble. Eventually, it might not be the first round. It might not be the fifth round. It might not be the eighth. But eventually, he's going to catch you, and you're going to crumble. But things to look out on his part, on his behalf, is can he take a punch from a high-quality, champion, contender. In this case, champion. Because he was on the floor against Callum Johnson. He was on the floor against a lesser-level fighter a few years ago than Callum Johnson. And we know that Gvozdyk is not a huge puncher. But, I mean, he can punch. You know what I'm saying? This guy is, he needs to be respected. There's no way Beterbiev is going to be able to come in there and just straight up bully him, have his way, and just treat him like he ain't, just nobody. You know what I'm saying? So this is a fucking great fight. This is a fight that I want to see badly. I think it's going to be an explosive bout. I think that, whoever wins this fight will definitely have to be considered the top guy in the division. Yes, Dmitry Bivol is still out there. Yes, Sergey Kovalev is still out there, who he will be facing Anthony Yarde. I favor him, but Yarde is a young, athletic, explosive power puncher from the UK who has been slowly brought along for this moment. And they're going to fight August 24th in Russia. So we shall see how that fight plays out As far as Dmitry Bivol, I don't know who he has lined up next, but this fight is gonna go a long way in determining who gonna be the light heavyweight undisputed champion, because the winner will no doubt face the winner of Yard versus Kovalev, because Frank Warren and Bob Arum has a strong working relationship. Frank Warren and MTK Global, they partnered up with ESPN, who has a great relationship with Bob Arum and Top Rank. So if it's Yard that defeats Kovalev, there's no doubt in my mind that we will see him face the winner of this, possibly 1 or 2 fights down the line. Because of course he's gonna want to make a title defense in front of his home fans if he's victorious against Sergey Kovalev. But it's gonna be a great fight, man. It's gonna be a great fight between two very good fighters who are undefeated, who have been waiting to get themselves in a big fight, and the big fight is against each other. So there's no official confirmation yet, no date, but just know that the fall time this fight will go down. High stake unification fight between two skilled, two hungry, two strong, motivated light heavyweight champions look to take one step closer to their ultimate goal of becoming the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world. Next up, man, gonna close it out talking about one of the greatest fighters of all time, and arguably the greatest defensive fighter of all time, the late great Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. And this is some sad news, man. Yesterday it was reported, and I did the article on it. He died. He was struck by a vehicle trying to cross the intersection in his hometown of Virginia. When the paramedics arrived, they reported that he was in bad shape and eventually succumbed to his injuries. But Sweet Pea, man, 1984 Olympic gold medalist, defeated Luis Ortiz in the Olympic final to become, the Olympic gold medalist. Went on to have a great 17-year career. Retired in 2001. Elected into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2006. 5 years after he retired, he was the first ballot Hall of Famer. Well deserved. He had a record of 44-1. 17 of his 40 victories came by knockout. He was stopped once in his career, and that was against Carlos Bujarris or whoever. And that's when he was well past his prime. That was back in April 27, 2001. He had one draw, which was bullshit, against the great Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. in a fight where he went to, San Antonio, Texas, the Alamo Dome, and boxed the shit out of him. He boxed the shit out of Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. Too much foot speed, foot movement, upper body movement, quick hands. He just did whatever he wanted to. He stayed close, slip shots. He decided to fight at a distance, evaded shots. He was able to turn him all night long, pivot off the ropes. It was a clear victory for Pernell Whitaker, who unfortunately was robbed of that. He was robbed. He was robbed, man. And it's unfortunate. It was so bad that Sports Illustrated put him on the cover, and in big bold words, they said robbed, because that's what it was. It was a major robbery on his behalf. And that really changed the mode of how, you look at robbers. You know what I'm saying? But to talk about more significant fights, Diabeles Hurtado, a guy who was beating the shit out of Sweet Pea. I mean, dropped him like 2 or 3 times. He was clearly behind on the cards going to the 12th or 11th to 12th round, and he scored a comeback victory. And that, I mind you, the fight with Oscar De La Hoya was on the line, because if he would have lost that fight, he wouldn't have been defending his WBA welterweight title against Oscar De La Hoya. But him being as great as he is, showing their resolve, their resiliency, that competitive spirit, he came back, scored a knockout victory. I mean, a brutal knockout victory, and it was all she wrote. He would go on to fight Oscar De La Hoya, losing a unanimous decision. And excuse me, it wasn't the WBA title, it was the WBC welterweight title. So I stand corrected on that. He was going to lose to Oscar De La Hoya. In that fight, a lot of people thought that he won. But, you know, he lost. He also fought Felix Trinidad. He fought James McGirt. If you don't know that by that name, it's Buddy McGirt, excuse me. Great fighter, inducted to the Hall of Fame, and a great trainer. You know, he fought Wilfredo Rivera twice, won a split decision the first time, unanimous decision the second time. You know, he was an undisputed, champion at lightweight, I believe so. Let me make sure I got my facts right. Yeah, he was undisputed at lightweight, 4 division champion. 130, 135, 140, 147, and 154. He was just a great fighter, man. The greatest defensive fighter I've ever seen. Slick, turn defense into offense, offense into defense. It was like he was in the Matrix. I know they call Vasil Lomachenko that, but look, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker was one of the greatest fighters to ever lace up a pair of boxing gloves. He will be missed. He fought everybody. Like I said, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., Buddy McGirt, Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Trinidad, Wilfredo Rivera, Roger Mayweather. He fought everybody. You know what I'm saying? He fought everybody. And, he made his mark. And you have to salute him, tip your hat to him, and acknowledge him as one of the greatest. He's an all-time great fighter. All-time great fighter. He made defense entertaining because he had a swag about himself. He had that pizzazz. You know what I'm saying? He would talk that talk, and that's exactly what he did. He talked the talk, and then he walked the walk. He was never one for trash talk verbally. He did all his trash talking with his left, his right, and his feet. In his mind, one of the mentally strongest fighters ever, one of the mentally smartest fighters ever, and just one of the greatest fighters of all time, man. So rest in peace to the late, great Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. You will truly be missed. Sincerest condolences to your family and loved ones and everybody that is affected by this loss. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you drop those comments in the comment section down below, giving me your thoughts on this. Let me know your favorite Pernell Whitaker fight or moment. Just let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoy the content throughout the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on. Share these videos all over social media. Shout out to the movement and everybody that is moving with us. Be sure to check out 3kingsboxing.com for your latest and greatest updated, unfiltered, and unbiased boxing news and information reported the way it should be. Until next time, I am out. Peace.